Hello and welcome to Investment and Development Nigeria. This is a program that showcases Nigeria's investment opportunities, development strides and strategies across different states of Nigeria, plus the various sectors of the economy. And today, our spotlight is on the automotive industry. It has become imperative to have a regulatory body to cover the automotive industry. And today, our spotlight is on the National Automotive Design and Development Council. What do they do at this council? What is the mandate? What is the organogram looking like? And what are the achievements in the last few years? And what is the way forward? In the course of this development, we spoke to the Director General and his management team at the National Automotive Design and Development Council. So stay back, enjoy the view. My name is Mayowa Uluwabi. Don't go away.
The National Automotive Design and Development Council, NADDC, was established by Act 83 of 30th May 2014. It was created from a merger of the National Automotive Council and the Center for Automotive Design and Development. It is an agency under the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. The council was set up to create an enabling environment for the manufacturing of Nigerian-made vehicles of global standards at competitive prices using local human and material resources. The aim is to position Nigeria as one of the leading automotive manufacturers in the world. According to the Act establishing the NADDC, its mandate is to regularly study and review the automotive parts and component development industry in Nigeria, evolve a local content program specifying which components and parts are to be continually deleted from the imported completely knocked down CKD parts. The Council is also to recommend incentives and protective measures for the development of the Nigerian automotive industry, as well as appraise and recommend new models of vehicles envisaged for the Nigerian market to ensure model rationalization, among other things. In the organizational structure of the NADDC, the governing board sits above the council, while the Director General serves as the board's secretary. The board consists of various government and private sector organizations involved in the automotive industry in Nigeria. The board chairman is an appointee of the president, while the other stakeholders include the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, the Raw Materials Research and Development Council, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, and the Nigerian Automotive Manufacturers Association. Others are the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Motorcycle Manufacturers of Nigeria, the Automotive Local Content Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, and the Bicycle Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. His Eminence, Chief Ima Eneoku, is the current chairman of the board.
Our mission in the National Automotive Design and Development Council are to encourage a competitive and diversified automotive industry in Nigeria, to encourage the local production of local manufactured vehicles and their components, to transfer of technology, innovation and skill acquisition, and to discourage the flooding of Nigerian markets with foreign used vehicles in Nigeria, and to make sure that we produce vehicles that are affordable to the Nigerians, and also to encourage the use of Nigerian vehicles by making sure that the spare parts and the components that will be used to service these vehicles and the skilled technicians and artisans are made available to the Nigerian market, so that Nigerians will have confidence in the use of Nigerian-made products and Nigerian-made vehicles.
The Director General is the Chief Executive Officer of the Council and is supported by a senior management team of directors that act as heads of departments and units. The Council has 8 departments and 8 units with a staff strength of 324 people spread across 6 regional offices located in the 6 geopolitical zones. The NADDC's regional offices are in the following states: Imo, Lagos, Kano, Sokoto, Rivers, Plateau, and Adamawa. The management team of the NADDC includes Dr. Noah Omisoya, who is the Director, Industrial Infrastructure Department, Mrs. Ibironke Amodu, Director, Human Resources Management, Mr. Sani Musa, Director, Policy, Planning and Statistics, and Mr. Benedict Ebunna, Director, Finance and Accounts. Others are Dr. Ainde Abdullahi, Director, Vehicle Electrification, Mr. Shegun Omishore, Acting Director, Testing and Standards, and Mrs. Susan Taiwo, Head of General Services. Investment Development Nigeria spoke with the Director, Human Resource Management, Mrs. Ronke Amodu. She speaks about the people and the structure behind the NADDC.
Basically, as HRM, we manage the staff of the council right from the point of entry to the point of exit. We bring them in, appointments, promotion, discipline, then we manage their career. And aside that, we are in charge of the staff welfare too. Train them as at Wendy, training and retraining, so that they will be more effective, efficient in the delivery of their duties. We give training, developmental training. At the beginning of the year, we assess the staff to identify their needs. So maybe in terms of knowledge, in terms of skill, or their attitude. So we now look for relevant training to bridge the gap. And we also do on-the-job training and capacity development training for staff. Like those of our staff that are engineers, we encourage them to go for professional certification. And we also organize retreats from time to time. We bring all of them together as one family to bond together and to discuss on the way forward, how to move the council forward. We are still under 500, and we have 324 in our nominal role.
Dr. Noah Omisoya, Director, Industrial and Infrastructure Department, also explains the role of his department and the other technical stakeholders they collaborate with.
The mandate of my department speaks to developing and initiating programs and coordinating and implementations of programs that is tailored towards capacity building, industrial infrastructure, vis-a-vis creating enabling environment towards the development of Nigerian-made vehicle. Some of the trainings we carried out include the following: specialized mechatronics training, which speaks to the innovations we have, the modern vehicles we have that are more of electronics than before. Then heavy duties plus Greek tractors. This speaks to all the machineries that we use for farming and the likes, and the trucks we use on our road. So we tend to take care of them so that we can continually sustain their usage on our road. Then we have the tricycle and the motorcycle. We collaborate with Simba, Bajaj, and the likes to carry out training in this area for our technicians to be able to repair and maintain this mobility. Then the other one is that converting PMS to CNG We train our technician. It's an innovation, and which is the priority of Mr. President for us to continue to use gas in powering our vehicle.
The Director of Finance and Accounts, Mr. Benedict Egunna, gives a summary of the role his department plays in the system.
My job here is to supervise the department, and the department, as the name implies, finance. We try to do the budget, the annual budget for the council, the payments as approved by the DG and audited and passed by the internal audit department. And keeping the documents too. It's not just to pay the payment, pay the beneficiaries. We make sure that the documents are well kept and preserved in case of any demand from any other agency or any stakeholder in future. The major challenge of the council is still funding. Yeah, because all these funds are mentioned, especially the 15%, the 20%, they don't come to the council direct. You know, the custom makes the collection, puts it in an account, 100% controlled by the accountant general. So what the council only does is, when the budget is approved, we now apply for release of funds through the accountant general to finance minister. And most times we don't get the money as expected.
The Director, Policy, Planning and Statistics, Mr. Sani Musa, speaks on the policy thrust of the NADDC.
Yeah, the mandate of Policy Planning Department is to monitor and supervise the implementation of the policies, the auto policies of the federal government, and also plan for the council, as well as generate data and statistics which can help in the formulation of policies by the federal government as well. The policy, currently Nigeria has what we call the Nigerian Auto Industry Development Plan, which is also dubbed as Auto Policy. That policy is a package of non-fiscal and fiscal incentives which are put together by the federal government to attract investment into Nigeria in the auto sector. Now, it also has a robust plan to provide a lot of other incentives and the low tariff for the electric vehicle and CNG vehicle development in Nigeria. And also in the NADDC, which is called the Auto Policy, we also have ambitious programs of capacity building and development, market expansion, and also credit finance scheme, which are all in this department.
The NADDC is headed by the Director General, Mr. Oluwemimo Oshanigbe, who oversees the daily activities of the Council. He speaks with Investment Development Nigeria on the mandate of the Council, funding, and the future of the automotive industry in Nigeria.
Please welcome Mr. Joseph Oshanigbe.
Thank you for having me on your program.
He's the Director General of the National Automotive Design and Development Council. What is the vision of the NADDC?
Our vision is to produce vehicles that will meet international standards and be the leading producer of automobile products in the whole Africa.
And the mandates?
Our mandate is, number one, is to regulate the automotive industry in Nigeria. Number two is to advise government on necessary policy that can be taken to encourage development of the industry. And also we have the mandate to come up with measures, policies that will attract investment into the automotive sector. And then part of it is to develop the necessary capacity that will support the sector. And then if there is new technology in that sector, and you know the technology in auto sector keep on evolving. If there's the new technology in the sector, we are to come up with policy that will lead to the speedy adoption of those technology in the sector. So, and again, if we have to, we ensure standard, we ensure safety and standard, and ensure compliance with the set standard in the industry. So we do all this, and if there is any non-compliance, it is also our duty to ensure that we bring those people who fail to comply, we correct them, and if need be, if there is any need for to punish or to roll out some kind of measure that will make them comply, we'll do that.
Any challenges so far?
A lot of challenges in this sector. When a sector is developing, you are bound to face challenges. We are facing the challenges of fund, like for us as well as majorly for the investors in this sector, because automobile is capital intensive, very, very. We are discussing with an organization that one of the leading auto manufacturer in China, electric vehicle, and they said to even set up the plant, is in billions of dollars to set up the plant. And we are discussing with an equivalent of Kiari in China. They also do some supervision and like our own equivalent. When you look at the tools they use to carry out some of their work, to do simulation, testing, and we are looking at what they said is almost, to them, it's about $380 million, one particular equipment.
Wow.
So you can now know the magnitude. And when you want to do a crash test, for example, what they are going to use, what they use, the equipment they use, when you put them together, you are looking at something that is going to go to about $50 million. So all these are very, very expensive tools. So you have a lot of funding requirements that is difficult to meet. And when you now go to component part development, to even establish a company, for example, let's say cylinder, you want to establish a company that will produce cylinder. Again, look at the cost. Just only cylinder that we use for CNG cylinder. Think of it. So the cost here is enormous. And then sourcing for this fund, that is our own investor, the investor in Automotive, to source for this fund is not an easy task, especially when you look at the cost of funding in Nigeria. The cost of funding in Nigeria is so high. And for you to be able to invest in this kind of capital-intensive venture, you must be able to get a very long-term fund at a very low rate. And that is part of the challenge. Part of the other challenge we have, which the president is resolving, is credit scheme.
Okay.
In world over, it's very hard. You see people that will go and buy new vehicle 100% cash down. They buy vehicle in developed country, even in China, with credit. So, and we thank God that the president is already addressing that challenge with credit card. So, credit card has made available fund for those who want to buy Nigerian-made vehicle, even though we know the fund made available now cannot even go far, but it's better to start.
Yeah.
So, and we have started from somewhere. So these are the part of the challenges we are facing in the auto sector. And we are addressing them. It's good thing we know those challenges, and then we are addressing them gradually.
How is the CNG project panning out? Are Nigerians embracing CNG?
The CNG project, the awareness is better now than what it was 2 years ago, because people are responding. I was telling somebody, I said, to get to a point, government will not be the one that will be even sensitizing people about CNG. People on their own will be the one that will be looking for CNG, and we are gradually getting there. Because by the time you use CNG, and you realize that it's cheaper, it's cleaner, it's safer, then you ask yourself, wow, now, what's stopping me from using it all this while? I know the major challenge a lot of people ask currently is cost of conversion.
Yes.
Because we look at sometimes it may cost as much as 1 million to convert it. But I always say, if you are in if you are a transporter, just see it as part of your capital, and you will recoup it in no time. If you are alien, if you are providing alien service like Uber and Co, in no time you recoup the whole money. If you are a transporter, interstate transporter, in no time you recoup the money. And as I'm talking to you, I've seen people that have come to me and said, look, the only way I will still be in business is when, especially those in logistics, that's the only way I will be in business is for me to convert to CNG. Because when you look at the cost of fueling and the cost your opponent or your competitors are incurring in doing the same, in covering the same distance, you don't need to be told that if you fail to change, it will push you out of market. So the people are now appreciating this. They are appreciating that CNG is the answer we have to cost of powering of our vehicle. It's far cheaper compared to PMS. It's cheaper compared to AGO. It's cheaper, safer, and cleaner. And more sustainable also, because we have more of gas in Nigeria than crude oil.
Nigeria is a major importer of new and used vehicles. A 2021 report puts vehicle imports at about $2.3 billion. Nigeria's reliance on importation has largely affected the growth of the ecosystem and the adoption of made-in-Nigeria vehicles. In line with the Tinubu administration's renewed hope agenda, the council has licensed 85 companies for local automotive production. These companies offer a wide range of brands, including partnerships with new original equipment manufacturers. The NADDC has also laid the foundation for Nigeria's vehicle recycling industry by securing approval from the Federal Ministry of Justice for the end-of-life ELV recycling regulation. These are part of the drive to make Nigeria's automotive industry globally competitive by initiating policies that empower key automotive stakeholders. The whole objective is to improve the quality of life in Nigeria through access to affordable automobiles.
While it's a wrap on the program, we'll be talking National Automotive Design and Development Council. A lot is happening behind the scene, as it were. You can see how CNG is moving in Nigeria, and centers are being set up. Electrification of vehicles. There's so much happening that we don't know until we bring to your knowledge. And that's how it's going to be. We'll bring you updates subsequently from different sectors of the economy. My name is Maiwa Oluwabi. Thank you for watching. God bless Nigeria.